The world thought progress was unstoppable. But on this day, November 26, the truth hit harder than any warning. Today in world history, November 26, the world faced a moment that changed the meaning of security forever. In 2008, Mumbai, a city of lights, commerce, and thousands of ordinary lives moved through an ordinary evening. Streets were alive, trains were full, hotels shining with guests from many nations. Then, without warning, that ordinary night became a long nightmare. A coordinated group of armed men launched attacks across the city. Hotels, a train station, a Jewish center, crowded streets, and quiet neighborhoods. For more than 60 hours, the world watched in disbelief as Mumbai fought to survive. This was not an isolated incident. It was a calculated strike designed to terrify, to break trust, and to force the world to confront new kinds of danger. Why did it happen? The reasons are complex. Extremist ideology, political tensions, and deep grievances that festered for years. Investigations later revealed planning, training, and logistics that crossed borders. Warnings were missed, communications failed, and small gaps became openings for violence. The attackers chose targets that meant something: places of international gathering, then civilian transit hubs, sites where news would travel quickly. Their aim was not only destruction, it was to make every public space feel unsafe. And in that design, they changed how nations perceived vulnerability. Who was affected? The victims were ordinary people, tourists with suitcases, office workers heading home, students on trains, hotel staff opening doors to guests, cooks in kitchens, and families celebrating another day. Citizens of India bore the highest cost, but people from many nations were caught in the same storm. Terror recognizes no passport. It turned familiar streets into scenes of chaos, and families into stories of loss. Survivors carried wounds that medicine could mend, and memories that time could only soften. The human face of that night is not numbers on a page. It is the name of each life interrupted, the echo of each goodbye, and the courage of those who refused to run when running was the easy option. The global impact was swift. Governments re-examined what they thought secure. Intelligence agencies increased cooperation. Hotels tightened protocols. Transport hubs reviewed evacuation plans. Technology moved into new role: surveillance, information sharing, and faster emergency responses. Laws changed. Training improved. Cities around the world reviewed their blind spots. What happened in Mumbai became a lesson for every metropolis. Modern life offers new convenience, but it also brings new paths for harm. The attack forced leaders to accept a difficult truth: that the tools of modernity can be used for both creation and destruction, and that vigilance must match innovation. And yet, amid the darkness, humanity showed its brightest colors. Ordinary citizens became heroes. Hotel staff hid guests in storerooms and kitchens. Drivers ferried people away from danger. Firefighters and medical teams worked until they collapsed. Strangers carried strangers. Police officers, often under-equipped, stepped into harm's way to protect lives they would never meet again. These acts of compassion and bravery rewrote the story of that night. For every moment of horror, there were moments of profound care that refused to let fear be the final word. What does this moment teach us now? It teaches that peace is fragile and must be actively protected. It teaches that silence on rising threats is a risk we cannot afford. It teaches that safety requires planning, empathy, and cooperation across borders. It teaches that communities must prepare and institutions must listen. And it teaches something vital about human resilience: that courage is not reserved for heroes in movies. It lives in ordinary people who choose to help one another even when fear is loud. There are positives to remember. The event galvanized global improvements in security, emergency response, and international intelligence cooperation. It led to better training, to dialogues about urban safety, and to technologies that help save lives today. The negatives are heavy: the tragic loss of life, the trauma carried by survivors, the fear that seeped into public spaces, and the political aftershocks that hardened attitudes and complicated diplomacy. There were debates about privacy and surveillance, and arguments about how to balance freedom with safety. Those debates continue, because the cost of protecting both values is always measured in complexity. Why does this matter to human life? Because our cities are where our lives intersect: work, family, culture, and travel meet in public spaces. When those spaces become unsafe, the fabric of daily life frays. When one city is attacked, the ripple touches the whole world. We learn, adapt, and change laws, but we also must carry compassion forward. Protecting life means investing in prevention, building stronger communities, and listening to warnings before they become crises. It means teaching the next generation not to live in fear, but to prepare wisely and to act with courage and kindness. As we remember November 26, we do not hold on to fear. We hold on to lessons. We honor the lives lost by making cities safer, by improving cooperation, and by choosing compassion over division. We remember the people who helped strangers, the first responders who risk everything, and the families who rebuilt pieces of their lives from brokenness. We remember that the true strength of a city, any city, is its people. History is not old, history is living inside us. One day, one event, one lesson. Mr. Fidi,